Let's go to work. Wow. Yeah, like the thing about recovery, it's almost like doing podcasts. It's something you have to do almost every day, or you got to do it regular, or you get out of the groove. Um, yeah, you really do get out of the groove. I got to tell you, I do not do much editing. I actually do no editing. And this particular podcast had to get started 5 times. This particular time, I'm committed 100% that we're going to get it done. But yeah, just so you know, 5 times to get to this point. So yeah, it doesn't matter how many times you try something. What matters is that it ultimately works. And yeah, it took 5 times to actually get it totally in gear. And I feel ready to go right now. So yeah, what I wanted to talk about today was like what's missing in your recovery, um, components, and specifically what you have to do. So let me give you a foundation of where I come from as far as getting porn out of your life. First of all, I'm not about getting porn out of your life. Okay. Getting porn out of your life is about a struggle, and you might get sobriety, and it's cold showers, and it's porn blockers, and it's some kind of craziness and all this stuff of fighting something that you've been doing for so many years that gives you so many benefits. I'm not about that. I'm about understanding how porn has changed you and how porn influences you, and reversing the damages that porn has done to you, and to help you to become a healthy person that grows out of and becomes a person that just downright doesn't do porn. So therefore, you become an environment that porn can't live in. In other words, I live in Florida. We can grow palm trees here. I'm from Washington, D.C. They have cherry blossom trees. You can't grow either one of those in the opposite region. They're just not going to grow. So you can't be porn free if you, as an environment, are of a porn addict. So it is about becoming, and it's about you being a person that grows up and out of porn. And, another way that I just put it, that you become an environment where porn doesn't even list. So it's really smaller things. We talked about addictions in a podcast previously that's talking about 250 addictions. Today, we're going to talk about things that you actually must address in the process of becoming, and then it's in becoming that you never do porn again. It's in becoming that healthy man that doesn't even, where porn doesn't even exist. So let's talk about some of the things that that you have to do in that quest to become. The first thing, again, as I said before, in today's society, in today's world, you can't have a porn disorder without a phone disorder, first of all. So mastery of the phone. I'll tell you 5,000 times, don't touch your phone for an hour. I did notice it's 7:27 local time today. For some reason today, my phone hit my hand a couple of times. It was things relative to work. Uh, I don't have that 1 hour rule personally, because of the fact that I pretty much don't touch the phone. But mysteriously today, for some reason, the phone got in my hands a couple times for things that were related to what I was doing. It's important. The 1 hour a day rule. I mean, leave the phone alone. There's nothing in the phone. The phone is what's going on with you in your relationship with your phone is a whole bunch of disorders that feed into your porn problem. One, you hit the phone because you have a big fear of missing out. There's something that you think you're missing out on, the outer world of nothingness. Because most of the stuff that's in your phone is a fake and make-believe world filled with other people's agenda, and you're chasing after that. So again, one of the first things that you can start doing in the becoming process is becoming a person who masters his electronics, that you don't have, that your electronics do not control you, that you control your electronics. The second thing I would say, the second biggest thing in becoming is really becoming a mature person. And that in and of itself really covers a lot of things. I was talking to one of my groups, which happens to be a full Christian group and not a secular group. And when I talk about becoming that healthy man, and it really is summed up in becoming a Christian man. Totally. So let's go back to lying. That's a big thing that we find that shows up. It just shows up because, first of all, when you're an addict, addicts live in secrets. So they hide secrets. So they omit things. They don't want anybody to know. By their nature, there's going to be a whole lot of lies because they're hiding what they're doing. You call them up. Hey, what are you doing, Joe? What's up, man? I mean, it's not like when I was doing porn that I'm going to say, oh, yeah, I was just rubbing one off and I let one go, man. That's why I couldn't answer my phone. I mean, that's not what people do. They lie about what they were doing. And then one lie begets another lie, that begets another lie, that begets another lie, that begets another lie. And then that thing just rinses and repeats itself. And every time that you can figure out a way to lie, you're going to lie. And, simply we lie because we want to avoid dealing with the truth. We want to put off what we can't put off, but we haven't realized that we really can't put it off. But that's why people lie, because we don't want to deal with the truth. We don't want to deal with the consequences of the truth. And that's part of the maturity and the growing up, is that we just learn to deal with the consequences, because most of the time they're not as bad as we think they are. See, that's the problem. As long as you're not used to dealing with consequences, you're never going to start to see that sometimes there's good things that come out of the so-called negative consequences. But anyway, one of the things that we like to do in the addictive state is to avoid consequences. And how it shows up is it shows up a lot of times in lies. Now, one of the ways that we lie, one of the worst ways that we lie, is that we lie to ourselves. And, do we downright out and out lie to ourselves? Yeah, we do. But most of the time we lie to ourselves through the form of cognitive disorders. That's that cognitive distortions. I'm sorry. That's a very sophisticated way of saying BSing yourself. Cognitive distortion. That's when you're kind of lying to yourself. Oh, it's okay. If you were trying to lose weight, this eating this whole cake it's not really going to hurt me. I know I ate 2 cakes yesterday, so this one really isn't going to hurt me that much. That kind of clownery. That's an example of cognitive distortion. Another big reason or big thing that has to happen is that we have to learn how to connect. And one of the things that is missing with the addict is that he does not know how to connect. Now, he may know how to communicate and have friends and network and all those wonderful things like that, but he's not really making connection because he's hiding so much. So the barriers of not being transparent and all the hiding and all the lying and all that stuff that goes on with the environment, it makes it hard for him to connect anyway. So he doesn't connect. So you have to, One of the things that we've got to do is we've got to really learn how to become part of communities. And recovery is something that is done in communities. So you have to create a recovery community as well as other communities in your life. True communities, not like, something where you're like, oh, I'm just kind of checking it out. I'm just kind of dabbling. See, you can't dabble when it comes to recovery. You got to just jump in with everything that you got. This is not for dabbling and let me get this tip here. Oh, Joey, can you give me a tip? No, I ain't got no tips for you, man. I don't have any tips. This is about going full blast. This is not about some tip like you're going to randomly add something. No, you're not going to everything about what we're doing is deliberate. And the only way that you're going to recover is by being deliberate. And as I said, you need to deliberately choose to be a healthy man rather than to do all this stuff that people want to do, which to try to get off of porn that isn't working. See, the thing is if what you were doing was so effective, then it would be working. But since what you're doing is not so effective, what you might want to try is some things that have been proven to be effective. And that's really what we're talking about. So one of the other things that you have to do, one of the coaches out there, Noah Church, I think is his name, he talks so much about you need to use things and not people. So much of the pornified mindset is about using people as things, using women as things. And we need to learn how to use things as things and to love people, because that's what they're there for. I didn't say romantically love everybody. I just said love people. Oh, here's a big one. Part of the becoming is you want stuff easy. You're looking for easy. You want easy. Easy comes out of your mouth 500 times a day. And I know you think it doesn't, but pull out your pencil and paper. And, I know you're going to make me wrong because it's going to be 498 times. So, okay. All right. You're looking for easy. And you need to get rid of that easy. There's nothing wrong with simple. There's nothing wrong with effective. There's nothing wrong with efficient. But see, easy is about a mindset. Easy is about a porn addict mindset. Easy is that you're not understanding the way the world works, which is you got to pay a price for the things that you get. If you want it simpler is about leveraging something. Leveraging is a price, like machinery or hiring somebody or whatever. That's simpler. There's no such thing as easy. So don't ever wish for easy, as Jim Rohn said. You just wish that you were better. Because things don't necessarily get easy, but you know what? The ones who conquer, they get better. All right. So don't use people as things. Yeah, when we talk about becoming, again, just to remind you, just becoming a person who doesn't do porn and masturbation. As I sit there, and it's not you. I mean, I wouldn't be talking about my clients or my listeners or people that care about me and support me. No, I wouldn't do that. But one day there's going to come a time when looking at porn, and pulling your member out and shaking it until foam comes out of it. One day, it's going to be just as silly as I described it. You know, beside what I just added to it. You know, and then when you take that picture that I just kind of created in your mind, and you think that people actually do something like that 25 times in a week, or 20 times in a week, or 15 times in a week, or even 12 times in a week. You know what I mean? Like, life has a lot more to offer than that. And I guess, you know, part of that becoming is the value. I mean, one of the things that I keep seeing often is how porn addicts, addict type of people, they have a different sense of value on things. They want stuff free. They think it's free. They think I'm supposed to coach them for free. They think this is free. They think coaching is too much. They look at that little investment of, you know, whatever, $5,000 for some daggone good coaching that's going to change your entire life around. They look at that like as if it's some big thing, but then, you know, they wouldn't think of spending $5,000 a year for some weed, or $5,000 for something else that they don't really need, or $5,000 in the course of a year for this, or $5,000 in the course of the year for that. So anyway, yeah, there's a problematic in the value of stuff. People have a tendency to want stuff for free that really has value, and to actually give a whole lot of value to stuff, you know, that's pretty much worthless. One of the things in this becoming is that how you treat people and how you treat women, it gets upgraded. I can guarantee you right now, if you're in recovery right now, that's upgraded. If you've been in recovery for a year, it's upgraded. It'll continue to upgrade. It has to upgrade. How you treat people and how you treat women. If it doesn't upgrade, more than likely, you'll probably still be doing porn. You have to become a person who takes more social risk. You have to change your relationship with rejection. You can't have the same, you know, you can't be scared. You have to learn next. You have to learn a different relationship with yourself and rejection. It has to be like, they don't even know what they're turning down. And if they only knew what they were turning down, they wouldn't be turning down. And you really need to have that in your heart and believe that. It's probably the truth anyway. All right, what else do I want you to know? Oh, you know what? Here's a weird one. Ooh. You got to learn how to become a person who can enjoy peace and not think that it's boring. Ooh. Yeah. That's what you have to become. What else we got to do here? You got to become somebody who thinks for themselves and makes their own decisions. Some of the stuff that addicts ask, it's beyond comprehension. Some of the stuff that people ask me, and then it's funny when there's a way that people, and I'm not going to show you how to do it, but there's a way that people ask questions they've already answered. the question. So yeah, somebody who thinks for themselves. When we were talking about how you treat women, then you honor women. That you treat every woman like your mother, like your sister, like your daughter. Because you know what? They're somebody's mother, sister, or daughter. And I guess that you become a person who doesn't go around people pleasing all the time. Part of, one thing about people pleasing works two ways. Oh, I'm not a people pleaser. Oh, I'm not a people pleaser. Because, you understand not being a people pleaser. But check this out. Trying to impress everybody, is there really a big difference there? So if you're living to impress people, like it's about the same as a people pleaser. Nobody's going to win out of that. You're not going to win. You're not going to be true to yourself. And it's part of the continuous clownery that we're doing here. And it's part of what I'm talking about not doing less of. So that's all I got for you today. A couple thoughts on becoming a person who grows up and out of porn, because porn was a childhood solution that has now become an adult problem for you. It's one day at a time, one step at a time. You got it. And as far as you have the power within you to do what it is that you need to do to become the type of person who doesn't do porn. That's a much better route as opposed to, I'm going to try now. Oh my God. Let me count some days. Man, come on, man. Get out of here. All right. So until next time, God bless each and every one of you. Walk with care. Drive with caution. Make every day your living masterpiece. One day at a time. One step at a time. Become 1% better. Stick around for a year. You'll be free. Joseph F. Price, Joey B. Until next time. Check you later.